So I'll wait until I see myself and then I'll start.
No.
Start now? So I'll wait until I see myself. No. Start now. So I'll wait until I see myself. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're doing 2 recipes today. We're going to be doing Kuku Paka. We're also going to be smoking our Kuku Paka at home. And I'll be showing you all that. We're also going to be doing our tiramisu. Now, 2 recipes, we kind of have to go back and forth. I've tried to arrange it in such a way that we don't have to move around too much, but you'll just have to bear with me with this recipe. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start off with just marinating our chicken, but because it's a live show, I can't wait 20 minutes before we put it in the oven. So we're just gonna pretend that I've marinated this for 25 minutes. I didn't do it ahead of time because I wanna show you how I marinate my chicken. So we're gonna be marinating our chicken. I'll call out all the ingredients. The measurements should be in the description box below, so make sure you refer to that. I'll call out some of the measurements because I have them here. Ask me if I don't, and we'll go from there. So we'll do that, and then once this goes in the oven, we'll go over to the tiramisu. We're gonna start off with the tiramisu, and then again come back and then get the sauce or the Kuku Paka curry done, and then let that be on the stove, then head back over to the tiramisu. So it's gonna be a little bit going back and forth today, but bear with me. We're gonna get this done. So. Should we start? Give me some hands up or a thumbs up. And again, Texas American Desi, you have been my amazing follower from the day one I started this channel. So thank you so much. You are #1 again. I appreciate it. So call out for you, shout out to you. Thank you so much. So let me know. Show me some thumbs up to get started.
Zakir Bai is here. So I don't know how to pronounce it. Zakir.
Oh, Zakir Bhai is here. Assalamu alaikum, Zakir Bhai. So happy that you are joining us. Zakir Bhai is my uncle. He's joining us from London. So thank you so much for joining.
We got many thumbs up.
All right, so start? Okay, all right, we'll start. So first thing you want to do is you want to get your oven preheated or on 425 degrees. Mine's already on. It's already preheated and ready to go. I have a tray that I have set up over here. Now, usually I do not line it with foil. I do get very exhausted after the live shows. So I want easy cleanup today. So I just lined it up with foil. I put parchment paper on top of it. We're gonna be putting our chicken on it. And then we're gonna put this in the oven. So here I have, the recipe calls for 1.5 chickens, whole chickens, cut and cleaned, 8 pieces. Today I'm making just a little more. It doesn't matter. The recipe is not going to matter at all. By putting 4 more pieces, it's not going to matter. So I'm doing 2 whole chickens here. They're cleaned. They're cut in. So I've got 16 pieces here. Now you can use any type of boned chicken, unboned chicken, deboned chicken. You can use chicken breast, whatever you like. All right. So what I've also done is I wanted to show you that I have also made some slits. And once I put my hand in that chicken, I'll show you. So my basic marination for chicken, for any chicken that I do, is fresh ginger and garlic. Super important for me. I'm going to do sambal. Now these are all about a tablespoon, and the sambal is my chili garlic sauce. I use that in everything. If anybody wants to see which one I use, I can go grab a bottle, just comment below. And then we're gonna throw in some lemon pepper. Now I have a lot of pepper in my lemon powder, so I'm not gonna add more pepper in there. But if you wanted to, the powder's running in my nose. If you wanted to, you can add more black pepper. I know that there are people in England that don't get lemon powder. Don't sweat it. Just add some lemon juice. You could add some lemon zest, and you should be good to go. Now we're going to add a little bit of salt. I am using pink Himalayan salt. It's really good for you, and I've started using it. It's been about 3-4 years, and I just can't go back to normal salt. But you can use normal salt if you like. Now for this, I'm using my hands with gloves on. I feel like I can really get in and get the marination in the chicken. Also, you can see here that I have made these slits in the chicken. So you want to do that so the marination goes all the way inside.
One question.
Yes,
Can citric acid replace lemon pepper?
it can. And you can use it. I mean, I think if you use it sparingly, it's perfectly fine. So I would do a little bit of citric acid, but I would also do some lemon juice.
And also, Sarah Adwani is here, and Nani.
Okay, so Sarah, thank you so much for joining us. And a big shout out to you. You are amazing. Your pictures are amazing. Check her out on Instagram. I mean, I'm so proud of you at the age of what you've done. I'm so proud of you. So way to go, girl. All right. So we got our chicken really nicely marinated. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put it on the tray. You want to put it on a single layer. So you're going to get nice. We're looking at nice browning. Okay. So let's get all that on there. Okay, so while I'm doing this, I also wanted to give a shout out to my mom and my mother-in-law. This recipe is my mom's. I am where I am today because of my mom. It's Mother's Day tomorrow. I honestly have done nothing for her. I just haven't had time to do anything for her. This is the least I can do, and say that, Mom, you are amazing. You have taught me to cook. Anytime I have a question, I really pray for your health. And all the recipes you see out there are either, from people that I have learned from. This is not what I'm born with. I learned from people. I've learned from my mom. I've learned from my mother-in-law. I've learned from people in the community. I've learned from everybody that makes something that I love. I'll get a recipe and I'll make it. So it's not coming from me. This is coming from all of you guys. And the support that I've had is just so immense. And I'm so sorry about tearing up like this, but I just wanted to say that I really, really love you, Mom, and I really appreciate it. So tomorrow, I'm going to put up a video on faluda, how to make faluda. That's her recipe. That's how she taught me. So that's going to be up there tomorrow. Make sure you check it out and give her support by, liking the video. So I'm going to throw this in the oven now. And what I want to do is I want to get it to the point where it gets really nice and like a nice brown color. We're going to then turn it around. We're going to put our broiler on, and then we're going to make it really charbroiled, all right? So in the oven it goes, and we'll see how long it takes. And I'm going to put it on the top rack today just because I want it to cook fast because we're doing the show. All right, so let's get head over now and start the tiramisu.
Nani said, Mom's here. I love you too. You're doing an amazing job, and I'm so proud of you.
Thanks, Mom. All right, for the tiramisu, I'm quickly going to go ahead and discuss the ingredients, okay? So I'm going to get some stuff out of the way here right now. Now, this tiramisu can be set any way you like. You can put it in a rectangle tray, and I'll show you all that. But let's go ahead and discuss the ingredients first. So in my I started ahead of time here, so I kind of prepped ahead and I covered everything so it doesn't dry off. In here I have, now the recipe says 7 egg yolks, but my eggs were super small today when I was looking at it, and I thought, okay, this is super small, so you're gonna have to gauge it. So I did 8 egg yolks. Now, I'm also, while I show you the ingredients, what I wanna do is I'm going to add about a fourth. About an inch. You don't want the bottom of this to touch. We're going to be putting this on a double broiler. I'm not going to do it right now until we're ready. So I'm using hot water for that. And then we also have here 2 tablespoons of instant coffee. I'm just going to add hot water in there and let this let this mix up so that we can dip our lady fingers in there. Get that out of the way here.
We have Salams Raihana by This is Fatima's sister. I am a big fan of yours. Lots of hugs your way, all the way from Dar es Salaam.
Assalamu alaikum. So nice to have you all join us. Dar es Salaam, England, Florida, Minnesota, and then everybody else that I haven't mentioned, the state, come on, the country. It makes me so happy to see where everyone's coming from. So make sure you let me know where you're watching from. All right, so we got this in here. I'm gonna give this a quick stir and let that hang out. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator because we're on a live show. I want this to cool down very quickly, because you do not want to be soaking your lady fingers in hot liquid. What's going to happen is you're going to have very soft tiramisu. Put this in the fridge real quick. Now, if you are want to make this and you're worried about caffeinated coffee, you are welcome to use decaffeinated coffee as well. I've tried it before and it does work. So, all right, so we've got 8 egg yolks. We did the 2 tablespoons of coffee. We added water. We put that in the fridge, okay? If I'm going too fast, I have an issue of talking too quickly. Please slow me down. I have here about 45, I would say 45 lady fingers, which is, they look like this. So they look like this. You can get them at any of the stores. Most of the Mediterranean stores have them too. 2 cups of heavy whipping cream, half a cup of sugar. Now, we don't like our desserts too sweet. So if you feel that you want to add a bit more and make it even sweeter, then go ahead. And then we're also going to be doing some cocoa powder that we're going to be sprinkling on top. We are going to do a teaspoon of vanilla paste. I don't use essence at all. I think it gives a metallic taste to foods. So I would highly recommend that if you want, you can order this on Amazon. But if you're thrifty like me, go to Michael's. When you have their 40 or 50% off coupon, they have it over there. I usually stock up on those. And then I have here some chocolate covered espresso beans. Now this is completely optional, but we're going to decorate with that. So I think I have all my ingredients down here. This is a very, very simple recipe. So I'm going to turn on my stove. What we're going to be doing is we are going to be cooking we're going to be kind of cooking our eggs. So for those that are worried that the tiramisu is going to have raw eggs, no, this mixture is going to be cooked. In my recipe that I have done for YouTube, I have actually used a organic coconut sugar. I couldn't find any, so I have to go with regular sugar. So I'm using regular sugar, and I'm going to be adding that to the egg yolks. All right. Shout out to Bashir Kaka from London. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the show.
We also have Diary Mommy Bobby here. You're doing so well. We're all so proud of your accomplishments and an inspiration for us all. Love you.
Thank you so much, Bobby. It wouldn't have been possible without the family support, and my family has been super amazing. My sisters, my brother, my husband's side of the family, all of you guys have been just amazing. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take beaters, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start beating this. And what you want here is, if you guys can't hear me, just comment and I'll talk a little bit louder. What we're looking for in this mixture is a pale, thick mixture. And what's fun is, if kids are watching this, the transformation that this makes is amazing. So you'll have to be patient with me on this, because I know it's a live show. I can't rush this at all. We're just gonna keep on beating this. And while we're beating this, if you guys have any comments, if you have any questions, please go ahead. This is the time to ask.
We have a question. What do you do with all the egg whites?
That's a very good question. You know, I was thinking about this, and I thought, well, we did upload a video today where Sumaya made me a surprise Keto Macaroons. So because I'm diabetic, so I don't have any sugar. So she made the Keto Macaroons for me, so you can use it in that. And what I was also going to do is I was planning to make some macaroons for my YouTube channel, because now I have about, I think Sumaya used, so I have about 5 egg whites in the oven. But there's so many different things that you can do, like there's puddings and so many different things that you can do that I'm trying to get it off my head, but macaroons is one that's just popping up in my head right now. Yeah, then I did 5 today, so we have, yeah, so I have more. So as you can see, do you see how the color is changing? And whoever is cooking with me, take your time and let me know if you're cooking with me so I can really slow down. At this point, now that I have a little bit of foam here, so can you open this? Get a little bit of foam here. I'm just going to go ahead and add my vanilla in here. Now you can add this to the whipped cream mixture as well, the whipping cream mixture as well, but I'm just going to do it here. So you see how this is getting really foamy? And this is actually cooking the egg mixture. This is really safe for you, safe for kids to eat. It's not one of those tiramisus that actually has the raw eggs in there and the raw egg whites in there. This is a super fun recipe to do with the kids, really. Get in the kitchen with them. They'll love dunking those in the coffee, and try different things. You can even dip it in passion fruit if you want it, passion fruit juice if you wanted to, or different juices if you wanted to, if you didn't want to stay with the coffee.
For the places, when you asked, you remember?
For that?
When you asked them where they're from, we have like many Torontos: Brampton, California, London.
Thank you all so much. Really, the support, it's the best thing. It's just the best thing that I can say, that thank you so much for taking your time out to spend with me in my home, in my kitchen today. I don't know what to say.
Also, I'm gonna butcher the name here, but Ophiobas?
Just say the comment.
Here I am, really enjoying your video. Love you and happy Mother's Day. Ophiobas.
Oh, it's Abbas.
Oh, you said Fufi.
Thank you, Abbas, for watching, honey. I really appreciate it. You did an amazing job yesterday on the spelling bee. Okay, do you see the transformation at this point? I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a whirl. Okay, we're gonna shut this off, and we're gonna quickly get this off the stove, because you don't want to cook this mixture.
We also have a comment from one of your biggest followers.
Yes.
I can't wait to try this, from Samia Batansi.
Samia, assalamu alaikum. Samia, how old are you? Samia is one of my biggest fans, and she is amazing. She also, Samia is 11 years old. Her mom was telling me that she watched my shawarma video. And so, Samia, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show today, Mama. Thank you so much for spending time with me in the kitchen today.
And we have a couple comments.
Yes.
Can you overdo the whisking of the eggs?
Yes, you can. So I'm going to show you the consistency right now. Also, it's really important that the heat that you put it on, don't go too high on the heat. Let it do its thing slowly. But do you see how we built up air? And it's really nice, silky. You also don't want to monkey with this too much because there's air built in it. If you are going to keep mixing this and touching it, you're going to deflate it. So at this point, if you can, I would throw this in the refrigerator so we can get this cooled. Everything has to be cool when we start mixing stuff, all right? So now, Hassan, can you see if we have room in the fridge and put this in the fridge for now?
Could you also use a whisk?
You can use a whisk by hand. It does get tiring, but yes, you definitely can. You definitely can. It's just I didn't have that much muscle today to do the whisking myself. All right, Hassan, there's and I did forget to mention one of the ingredients, and that is the mascarpone cheese. So this is what mascarpone cheese looks like. You want to use mascarpone cheese for this dessert. If you can get it, the closest thing you can get, you could do would be not cottage cheese, but ricotta cheese. But if you do the ricotta cheese, you just want to make sure that you mix it well. Don't over mix it because ricotta cheese tends to curdle when you mix it too much. I am sorry. Let's go back. Mascarpone cheese, if you beat it too much, it tends to curdle. So that we're just going to be mixing it. As far as using the ricotta cheese, you want to beat that until it's really nice and smooth. But I've had a lot of questions in my video that I did for YouTube that can we use cream cheese? And I highly not recommend using cream cheese. I mean, if you just don't have a way out, then maybe. But the reason is because the taste will change. Cream cheese has a little bit of a sour taste to it. And so you're gonna taste that in the tiramisu. This is a super delicate dessert, so you're gonna taste that. So I'm gonna empty my mascarpone cheese in here.
Akila Bai said you should come to Toronto to cook for us.
Akila, thank you so much. Akila, so nice to see you on. Thank you for your support. Akila makes my Shanghai mogo all the time, and she's well known for that. So next time I come to Toronto, you have to make it for me so I can try it. So thanks, Akila, for joining. Family support it's unbelievable. Thank you. This is where my family is just amazing. All right, so I just mixed this. Did you see that I just don't want to mix it with the beater because I had it soft enough. So you want to take it out earlier and make sure that it's nice and soft for this dessert. All right, so we're going to keep this on the side now. And then what I'm going to do next is we're going to beat our heavy whipping cream. Now, you want to use 2 cups of very cold, heavy whipping cream. We are not going to add anything in here. We're just going to do the whipping cream, okay? Nothing else. We're going to then beat this until we can get stiff peaks to form. Then we're going to be mixing everything. Give me just 1 second. I'm going to go over to the oven. I just want to make sure how our chicken is doing. So the chicken is doing its thing. We're going to continue with our recipe. Once we beat this, I'll show you the tray and I'll show you what it looks like at that point. So you again can use hand whisker if you like, hand whisker if you like. All right. Again, I won't be able to rush this. If you're making this at home, and if I'm going too fast, please slow me down. I have an issue with talking too quickly.
We have 2 comments. Please, recipe for Shanghai?
Sure. Recipe for Shanghai mogo. We did that last week. Was it last week that we did it? What did we do last?
Maybe in the beginning of last
Wait,
week.
what did we do last week? Can somebody help me? Whoever has been on there, I can't
It
think.
should be on your Instagram.
It's on my YouTube channel, but I know we did it for HIC. We did it live. Well, we did the Shanghai.
You did a YouTube
We did the
video.
Shanghai chicken, and I did mention how to do the mogo, the Shanghai mogo. So it is on HIC. We did Singaporean rice last week, but then did we do? I thought we did the. I thought we did the I know we did the Shanghai chicken. Yeah, we did the Shanghai chicken. Thank you, Sabira Kanji, for that. So the method is almost the same, but what I am head over to my YouTube channel and just put down Shanghai Mogo Raihana's Cuisines, and it will come up.
And then 2 weeks ago we did noodles.
Oh yeah, and then 2 weeks ago we did the Hakka noodles, right?
Many.
Okay, so HIC, Brother Mazahir has been working with me. Thank you so much, Brother Mazahir. He has posted that recipe in the description box below. Thank you so much for your help.
And many people want you to be doing lives after Ramadan, not just during.
That's really good. Thank you so much. Inshallah, if I can get the support, I don't mind. I love doing this. I love helping people out. I love cooking. So I have to admit, today was one of those days where I was super nervous. And these are the 2 recipes that I can do in my sleep. I just don't know why I was so nervous today. But once I get on the camera, I guess I forget being nervous. But that's because of all you wonderful people and your support. So inshallah, support me, and we'll try and get the live videos done. If anything, we can stream them through the my YouTube channel or whatever, however that works. But inshallah, I'll do it. Yeah, we did the Shanghai chicken the first time, but then I did show the packet of the muhogo that you can do it, but that the recipe is there, and the recipe, I think Mazahir has put it in the description box below.
Can you use Cool Whip instead?
You can, but you are not going to get the authentic tiramisu flavor. The whipping cream has the fat in there. You can also control the amount of sugar. When you use Cool Whip is it's already sweetened ahead of time. And when you taste both of the things, if you tasted the whipping cream and you tasted the Cool Whip, you're still going to have the difference in flavor. So I would say that if you're going to make the tiramisu the first time, try and do it this way. And then the next time, if you wanted to use the Cool Whip, go ahead, so that you yourself can see the taste, the difference in the taste, and figure out that, can you do away with, not using or going through the whipping cream process.
Looks like you need a lot of arm muscle for the dessert.
You do, and this is the reason why when Mazahir Bhai and Ruhi from HIC contacted me, I was thinking of doing the tiramisu, And I honestly was thinking, no, not gonna do it, just because for my YouTube shows, we tend to move pretty fast, and also we can cut. I can, put this on fast mode so that you're not all watching the whole thing. I'm not very used to seeing or doing this on live, so that where you guys have to wait and see, when this is done. So I was really apprehensive about doing this dessert, but then I had so many people requesting that, it's an easy dessert, but we're super intimidated by making it. And so I thought, okay, you know what? If we go over on time, then that's just the way it's going to be, because you just can't rush the cooking. But then I decided, yep, we're gonna do it, just because so many people were like, no, please do it. And so I thought, okay, let's do it. So I chose this recipe, so you guys will just have to bear with me, because it does take a while for you. Once we get this stuff done, then it's easy peasy. Just getting things together is the best thing. Then to get the cookies, dipping the cookies in the coffee and placing them, that's the fun thing then. And then you can also get super creative in how you want to serve the cookies or the dessert.
I remember when I had to do it for the macaroons, I couldn't do a hand mixer. I couldn't, not a hand mixer. I couldn't do it myself. I had to use a machine.
So Sumaya did a surprise video for me. It went up today, and she made Keto Macaroons for me. So she used, I think she did the egg whites, and she beat the egg whites. And she started off with using a hand mixer. She gave up pretty quickly. So yeah, it does. See, the whole thing about this is that we're incorporating air in this. When you incorporate air in it, you can't just do it instantly. It takes time. The more time you take, the better result you're gonna achieve. Now I can see that the whipping cream is getting really nice and thick.
Can I whip it on high speed, or do you have to go slow to get it right?
You might want to start off slow, just because you can see I'm wiping away, and it's because it's going to start splattering everywhere because it's so liquidy. Once you see that it's coming along, then you can probably do it a little bit faster. But also, just make sure you don't just quickly put it really fast and do it, because if you overbeat the whipping cream, it's going to turn into butter. And once it turns into butter, there you can't go back. You can't rectify that. So that's why take it slow. When you take that first bite, you're going to be thankful you took those steps.
Also, can you share the macaroon recipe?
Yep, we just posted that on Instagram today, and it's up on YouTube as well. So make sure you go ahead and follow that, please. She just posted it this morning, in fact. And she did an amazing job for Mother's Day. That was a super surprise for me. So I'm very blessed to have kids like this, because the whole team is here. I've got my kids, my daughters, my son, everybody helping me through this. If they weren't here, these shows would not be possible, because it's not a one-man show. I need my camera person, I need my comment person, I need people to help me out before and after. So I really appreciate that. And I also wanted to thank Mazahir Bhai and Ruhi for considering doing these live shows for HIC. It has been an honor giving back to the community of Orlando. So thank you so much.
And thank you so much, Raihana. It would be great to have a live Q&A session. And
sure, we can do that. In fact, next week we are going to be doing mitai. Next week, the recipe that I'm going to be doing, I'm not going to give it out, but it has never been aired on YouTube. So guys, next week, if you want to see it, they are gorgeous. So make sure you join us next week to see. I have done the video, but that video will go on after we do the HIC show, because it's exclusive for HIC. But so when we are doing that, it would be a good idea, because that will be the time where I can be a little bit relaxed, because I love doing mitais. Mitais is my thing. So we can do a Q&A at that time as well. So get all your questions ready and ask away. Also, we are going to be posting a Q&A on Instagram, thanks to Sumaya. So make sure you post your questions there as well.
Oh, okay. Roughly how many minutes do you whisk it for?
How many minutes have we been going?
I don't think it's a specific time.
I don't
It's
think
just when
yeah.
a stiff peak.
Yeah, I honestly don't know how long we've been going for.
It's been a while. But salams, this is Shavi Chacha.
Shavi Chacha, Assalamu Alaikum from Canada.
And also, you're making us hungry. Can we break our fast with Kuku Paka?
You can
Laugh out
come.
loud, miss you.
Thank you so much for your support. I would love to have you come and join us for iftar. So, thank you. Salams to the Chachachi as well.
And many people are now excited for the mitai.
All right, so join us next week. That is going to be our last session with HIC.
We'll be posting a story for questions for you guys to submit.
Okay. So now, can you guys see the consistency? Let me stop just a minute. So do you see how it's coming along, but it's still super soft? So we're going to let this go. It's going to be very quick now until we get the stiff peaks. Also, if there's anybody out there, if you guys have a certain recipe that you really want to know how to do as far as mitais for Eid week next week, comment here. Let us know on Instagram as well. So in conjunction with what I have already planned to do, we can add one more item. For all those that have not tried my Monta recipe. The Monta recipe is a foolproof recipe. You do not have to make chansni for that. It is made with condensed milk. So if you want me to do that recipe, let me know. Otherwise, check it out on YouTube. It's a foolproof recipe. And please, this is super important. Do not forget to subscribe to HIC. Turn on your notifications so that you get notified with a new video that has been posted. They do a really good job of posting new items almost every single day. So please show your support by subscribing and hitting the bell.
We have barfi for the recipe.
Sorry?
Barfi?
Barfi recipe? Yep, we can do barfi, but let's keep commenting. Let me know. So do you see here that we are having a stiff peaks form? So basically, the test to this is if you can take the bowl and if you can take it, put it upside down, it should be completely set. Do you see how it's not set yet? So we're going to beat this just a little bit longer. I do have a glass bowl, so I hope I can do it. So you see that? See that? You see that? It just took seconds. It just took seconds. It was falling off. And now it took seconds for me to turn it around and not have it spill. This is when you know that your whipping cream is at the stage where it's done. All right. My hands are super clean, but I do like to completely not waste any ingredients and just clean this off. Now, let's go ahead and check on our chicken.
We have montar.
Okay, so we'll see how many comments we get, and if we get a lot of people wanting a certain item, we'll do that one. Okay, see how thick that is? Okay, so now I'm gonna put this on the side here. Now let's go ahead, check on our chicken, and then we will start setting these. Hassan, can you check if the coffee is nice and cold in the fridge? Not that mixture, Mama, the coffee one. That the coffee mixture. Under that, yeah. Yeah. So take a look at this chicken. A very good way of knowing that your chicken is done is when you take a thickest part of any part of chicken and you take a look at it and it should be completely white. Okay, now when I'm doing this, I can tell that the chicken is just a little rubbery. So this is perfect. At this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn them all around because we've gotten a little bit of brown on that. And then I'm going to stick it back in the oven. But I'm not going to turn our broiler on. And I'll tell you why. If I were to turn my broiler on at this time, all that stock that you see in here, the juices that you see in there, are going to evaporate. And I don't want that. I want those juices. These juices are liquid gold for our Kuku Paka. This is what's going to give that flavor that we're looking for. Now, also, the other way you can tell that your chicken is done is when you see the meat is kind of pulling away from the bone. There you go. That's another way that you can tell that the chicken is done. So I'm just going to let this hang out in the oven for just a little longer. And it should not be overbaked because, like I said, it's a little bit, just a little bit. I would give it another 10 minutes in the oven, not more than that. But that's why we have to quickly rush now and get our sauce done. So let's head over to the other side of the kitchen. We'll get the sauce done, then we'll come back and we'll start layering our tiramisu.
So how long does the chicken go in the oven in total?
So it honestly depends on your oven. So I'm not going to give you a specific time. I would say check after every 10-15 minutes to see. And if you see the signs of what I told you where it's done, that's the time. If you were doing this at home, then and you would have had the coconut mixture already done, the Kuku Paka mixture already done, then you would add the stock in there and then put this in broil. And if you feel like you don't understand or if I'm all over the place, please ask away. All right, so now let's head over to this side of the kitchen. Okay. Just give me 2 seconds to set up here real quick. Thanks, Sumaya. I'm going to make sure everything shows in here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and explain all the ingredients to you guys, and then we'll start.
So you're saying you broil the chicken after you mix the juices with the coconut?
Yes, correct. And I'll show you that procedure right now. So let's get started with making the Kuku Paka, the Paka itself, okay? The Kuku is in the oven, now we're working on the Paka. So on the stove, what we're going to do is we're going to put 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And you don't need a lot of it in there. We just want to get this head start. We just want this to get really, really nice and hot. This on high. Okay. Once that gets really hot, we're going to be adding our curry starter kit in here. The curry starter kit is what makes this Kuku Paka gonna be a breeze to make. The first show we did is where we did the curry starter kit, and I've showed that on the HIC first episode. So make sure you watch that. Once you feel like this is getting really nice and hot, I'm going to go empty the curry starter kit into the Sufuria here. And you hear that noise? That's exactly what I was looking for. The curry starter kit is completely cooked. It consists of tomatoes, onions, and whatever hot pepper you want to use. I usually use Anaheim peppers because I don't like it very spicy.
So what if you don't want to use the curry starter?
If you don't want to use a curry starter kit, I would take 3 tomatoes, Roma tomatoes, a small onion, and whatever hot pepper you want to use. Chop that up, put it on the stove, and let it cook until the onions are nicely translucent. Then blend the mixture, and you're ready to, this is what you would come up with. This is the mixture. I usually have, believe me, I'm not joking, I have 15 to 20 packs of this in my freezer. I can't do without these. This is what makes my cooking go super fast. I just cannot work without it. So now this mixture is already cooked. It's bubbling here. I'm going to lower the temperature just a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to add my coconut cream. Now, coconut cream, if you go buy coconut milk, honestly, don't spend money on buying coconut milk. It's a waste of money. Buy coconut cream because you can always dilute that with water. This is, we're going to use 2 17.8 flask ounces of coconut cream. Now, if you want to only use one, you can. I have a big family, so I use 2. So it's all up to you. But also, I know Trader Joe's also has the organic one. I just haven't been able to get out there, but that's my other thing, would be to use the organic coconut milk or coconut cream, not the milk. I never buy the cream. Never buy the milk. I always buy the cream. All right, so I'm going to empty those 2. I'm going to let this cook and let this come to a nice boil. The other thing is, once you have this curry cooking, then just leave it on the stove on low for half an hour, 1 hour, even 2 hours. The more it sits on the stove, it just gets the curry, just all those spices and everything mixes in so well with the chicken, and it just, the taste is amazing. All right, so now at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of lemon pepper in it. I use a lot of lemon pepper. We just cannot do without it. But
your spoon has an R on it. How cute.
Oh, thank you so much. My kids, whenever it's something, they'll always get me something that's RC oriented. So.
And no salt? Question mark.
I did. I just put salt in there. I just put salt, and I'm doing again pink Himalayan salt. Okay, that goes in there. Now, super simple. We're gonna put in a little bit of turmeric. The measurement is, I can't see. The measurement is on the, the measurement is on the recipe. When I'm cooking like this, I honestly do not measure, but just make sure if you're really looking for the measurement to the T, then you can see that in the recipe. Now, when you add that turmeric in there, it depends what kind of turmeric you have. Guys, what are we doing with time? How are we with time?
So you can go over it.
Okay, so we, how long has it been? Anybody know? Okay, so we are gonna go over, and I apologize. I'm trying my best. This is why I'm screwing up, because I'm trying to move this faster than. So I did get an okay from Azerbaijan to go a little bit over. So thank you so much. I'm gonna calm down now. You wanna cook this mixture a little bit. What's gonna happen is, by letting this mixture cook, the turmeric color is gonna come out of the turmeric. So don't add a whole bunch in the beginning. Add a little bit at a time. Add a little bit at a time until you get to the color that you like. Now, the reason why I'm saying is because I like it a little bit darker. My mother-in-law likes it a little bit lighter. So everybody has their own way, own choice of how they like the color. While this is going on, I'm quickly going to talk about charcoal. We are going to be giving this a smoky flavor. I usually use the coconut shell charcoal for this because we're going to put that in the sofria right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it on my stove in the back on low, let this cook up so that when everything is done, this is ready to be smoked. Okay, so you're just going to take one.
How about coriander? Does that impair the flavor of the paka?
It sure does, and that's the next thing I was going to put on. You guys are ahead of me. So you see that? This is going to go on the stove. I'm just going to do that real quick.
Also, don't worry about time. We're in lockdown anyways. Plenty of time.
Thank you so much. So now I'm not going to stutter and I'm not going to be super nervous about going over. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. It is just some things that you just can't rush in cooking. Just, all right. So while our charcoal is getting done, I'm going to quickly wash my hands. Now, there's a lot of people that do not like so much coriander or cilantro. Some people honestly have an issue with it. They find it that it gives it a soapy taste. So if you have anybody in your household that has that, do not put the cilantro inside. Just use it as a topping, as a garnish. But we don't have anybody, so I'm just going to add a little bit of the cilantro in here so you can start releasing that flavor. Okay, now you see that our mixture is done, right? Now, let me go get my chicken.
Where do you get the charcoal?
Charcoal, I got it from, if you're in Minnesota, Peace Market has it. That's where I got it from, on Central Avenue. But I know that Amazon sells them too.
For the starter kit, just fry onion and add tomato and grind ? Or grind onion and tomato and then fry oil. Which method is better?
Okay, I'll explain. So now, do you see what I'm doing here? Is I'm taking the broth and I'm adding that to our Kuku Paka. This is liquid gold, guys. This is what's gonna make the flavor. Okay. Now, let's turn 550-degree broiler on to get this really nice and dark. And we'll have to keep a very close eye on this. So okay, broiler's on. Now you see that it's a roll. We've got the rolling boil right there. That means that our coconut milk is cooked. I'm gonna now lower it, and we're gonna let this hang out. And before starting the other, going back over to the tiramisu, if you guys have any questions or comments, just do it right now so that I can't walk away from the oven because the broiler is on and it's gonna burn our chicken if I walk away. So. Also, I have a little bit of oil here. Now, when we are going to be smoking our chicken, you want to make sure and use like either a vegetable oil or a high smoking point oil, because you don't do canola oil or anything like that. You just need a teaspoon of that to be put on top of the kolsa or the coal to get it to smoke.
Do you remember the question for the starter kit?
Yes. So, yep, let's discuss that. All right, so for the starter kit, what you want to do is you want to cut up your onions. You want to cut up your onions. You want to cut up your tomatoes. And then you also want to cut up your jalapenos. And then on the stove, no oil, nothing. On the stove, just put it on in the sofria and let it saute. The water from the tomatoes and the onions is going to come out and it's going to become a really nice soft mixture. When you see that the onions have become really nice, soft and translucent, that means it's ready. You can then put it in the blender and blend it, and you can put that in you can also make that put in the refrigerator for about a week. That is the base of most of my curries.
Do you have a video for the starter kit?
I do have a video of the starter kit because I can't do without it. And honestly, I used to tell my sister who lives in Dallas Zaida to do it all the time. And she took her, I don't know how long, but she did it this Mahi Ramadan. And she says that she really gives me a lot of du'as, because when you are on that time crunch to cook and that's ready, it really does save a lot of time. So yes, I do have a video. It's called curry starter kits. It's on there. It's on my YouTube channel.
She's been commenting.
Collagen?
Mm-hmm. And is there no blood in that juice?
In what juice?
I think
the chicken juice? No, because even if there was, but there isn't, it's all cooked. It's completely cooked. The chicken was completely cooked. So let me just show you here real quick. We're getting here to the chicken. I need to move stuff out of the way here. All right. Okay, take a look at this. Okay. Take a look at this. Okay. Do you see that the brown marks are on there? But I'm not really satisfied. So it's going to go back in for about 2-3 minutes. I'll show you when I'm going to be completely satisfied.
And
yes.
We were talking about the blood in the juice.
Yes. So, all the meats have juices that run up, right? Whatever you make. But when it hits a certain temperature and after a certain amount of time, it is safe to consume. So when we put it in the oven, when we put our chicken in the oven, it baked so well that whatever juices that came out of the chicken, they are completely safe to consume.
Can you freeze the starter kit?
Yes, I've been freezing them. And honestly, if in the end, if you guys want to see, I can show you my freezer, what I have in there. I mean, I have about 16 to 20 packs of, let me get one to show you how you want to freeze that. So this is how I usually freeze my stuff. So you see here that I freeze them flat. This is my curry starter kit. I always put the date on there and then that smiley face because I love myself when I take it out. It really saves so much time. My ginger and garlic is also made at home. It's frozen flat. So this way, no containers, nothing. It just gets, it gets stacked up in the freezer. It doesn't take much room. And that's how I freeze them in the freezer.
So both times you just use broiler and not oven, right?
No. The first time you want to put it on oven at 425 degrees. When you get the juice, when you pour the juice in the Paka, then you are going to put it under broil. So in the beginning, you're going to be baking it. Then you're going to be broiling it. Now, do you see how we have... All right, look at the color. Now, I think I'm more satisfied with the color right now. So, and this is just all up to you, how you want it. But when it gets charbroiled like this is where I like it. So at this time now, we're going to quickly go ahead and start putting this into our Paka like this.
Is the curry starter kit only for coconut curries, or can you use it in red curries as well?
You can use it in red curries as well. In fact, if you go to YouTube and you put down Raihana's Cuisine's starter kit playlist, I have about, at this point, I think I have about 10 to 12 videos that uses the starter kit. Just because when I made them, people said, well, you need to show us how you're using it. So then I decided to make some videos that shows how I use it. So I actually use it for just about anything in every curry, that whether it's meat curries, chundo, chundanusak, gostusak, cabbage nusak, whatever it is that requires that, I use the curry starter kits.
And I think we have a comment on the little pot in the background with the copper bottoms. Adorable.
Oh, thank you so much. That's where I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna be serving this chicken in.
And can we grill the chicken barbecue?
You sure can. You can't beat that flavor. You sure can. It's summer and you sure can. Sometimes I have my hubby in the summers, I will have him bake or grill that chicken for me outside, and then I'll actually freeze the chickens so that in winters I can use the grilled chicken.
I'm curious to know what the candle scent is.
This one is jasmine sweet pea. And the thing is, there's a whole story behind the candles. And that is, I love, love, love candles. I absolutely love candles. So I will look for deals and find candles that will cost me under $3 or $4. So once they come home, I hide them. And I hide them from Sumaya because she's one that's going to just use my candles like she'll go through so many
They're
candles.
meant to be used, though.
No, they're not meant to be
they
used.
are meant to be used.
They're meant to be used very sparingly. So very sparingly. Like she brought this one down today and I was screaming at her and I said, are you serious? You're going to make me lose
We
this
have
good
like
one?
20, just one out of like...
All right, so did you see how we got this mixed in? Now, let me see if our charcoal is almost ready.
Also, my cat also eats this Kuku Paka. It's not just for humans.
Well, yeah, if you're talking about cats eating, Aladdin will eat anything and everything. Like he will eat kheer, he will eat mangoes.
Anything.
In fact, I made ras malai. It's going to go up in next week. No, not next week, but the week after. And he was devouring that too. So yeah, I don't know. I have a cat that devours everything. Now what I have here is a piece of foil. I'm going to fold it. I'm going to lower the temperature completely because I don't want it to bubble over and get into and be a mess. So you just want to completely lower the temperature. If you're fasting, do your taste test, wash your mouth, but do the taste test. Super, super important. Taste test is super important. You don't want to put a curry on the table with less salt or less lemon pepper in it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little indent like that. All right, now put that on top. Now let me go grab my charcoal.
Doesn't the chicken stock make the Paka watery?
Because we've used the cream, that's the other thing. Because we've used the cream, it's not going to get it very watery. And the nice thing is also that the next day what happens is also if you have it in the fridge, what happens, it gets thick. This way you don't have to add too much water in it. So here, did you see, this is my coal. I would have let it burn more if we were not doing live, but that's okay. And then take some oil. Also get your lid ready because you're gonna need it right away. So one hand you have the lid, the other one you have the oil. You just want to take about a teaspoon of it. You pour it on top, you'll see the smoke, cover it and leave it alone. Now, you see that my pot here, my lid here does not have any holes on it. This is exactly what you're looking for. You don't want any holes in it. In fact, I'm also going to go ahead and put a towel on top of it because I want the smoke to stay in there, all right? Now, remember that our curry is on complete low, like complete low. Like, let me show you. Look at that. You can hardly see the flame. It's completely low, all right? So now we're gonna let this hang out here and let's go ahead and finish up our tiramisu now.
We have a couple comments and questions.
Yes.
We have a comment on how they love Aladdin.
Okay.
After you add chicken,
Yeah.
should you cook for a long time? Question mark. Meaning till we see thickness in gravy.
No, because you're using coconut cream, you really don't need to use the You don't need to cook it a bit more, but I personally, when I'm making it at home, I will put it on the stove for at least half an hour, at least an hour on really low, because um, you just want all the chicken flavor. The chicken will get a little bit soft. It'll get a little bit soft, and the it'll just, everything will mix and flavor really well by putting. I've done it without putting it on the stove, and I've done it with, and I've realized that by putting it on the stove, it really does intensify the flavor of the Kuku Paka.
And then if not canola oil, then which oil do you use?
You could use canola oil, not olive oil, but you could use canola oil. That should be completely fine. Peanut oil is another one you could use if you don't have any allergies in the house.
So what oil is one of the worst oils to use?
Geez. Palm oil and canola oil is now saying that it's a really bad oil to use. Also, if you're using corn oil, it's supposed to be really bad because it's got GMO in it. So grapeseed oil is a great oil to use. Olive oil is another great to use in cooking. Grapeseed, olive oil, avocado oil is another really good one as well.
And is it bad if I use liquid smoke? My fire alarm is crazy.
You could very much use that. I personally don't like the taste of it. So it's really up to you. I bought that before, but for some reason, to me, I feel like it gives it an artificial taste. But if you are okay with it, then you're completely fine. But even if you have a smoke alarm, by using the charcoal, honestly, did you see the amount of smoke that we had? We had very little smoke. It just smoked a little bit. When we put the oil in, we covered it up, and so your smoke alarm should not go off when you use that.
So then how about coconut oil?
The only reason I wouldn't use coconut oil is just because of the flavor. The flavor might go into the curry. If you don't mind that, that's okay. And if you were to try it, please let me know how that goes, because I've never tried it before. So we've got this. Hassan, can you take out the egg mixture? So now for the mixture, what we're going to do, a couple different things. I'm going to be setting this in the pan in a rectangle pan like this. Now, there are so many versions, different things that you could do. You could use a cup like this, a cup like this, cups like this, whatever you want to use. Whatever you do, if you make this, hashtag Raihana's Cuisines. Please don't forget, I'd love to see what you've done. All right, so we need to mix all these three things that we did together. So into the egg mixture that we did goes the mascarpone cheese. Now, the only one thing is that I don't know if I'll be able to cut into this and show you, but the picture that you see on the thumbnail for the HIC is exactly how it should turn out, because you need to put this in the refrigerator. It needs to chill. This custard that we've made, it needs to settle. So, and again, when you're mixing it, please be super gentle with it. You want those air bubbles in there. Just really important to have those air bubbles in there.
And where will the recipe be posted?
The recipe is posted right now in the description box below the video. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is our whipping cream mixture. You don't want to add it all at one time. We're just going to add half of this mixture in. Oh, and Mazahir Bhai did put up the picture. So if I'm not able to cut into it, and I don't think I will be because the custard has to set. But that's exactly when you cut into it, it's how it's supposed to look. So you just want to really gently mix all this together. Not even mix, fold this together. Rest of it in there.
think many people are starting to go crazy over this right now.
It really, really is. It might seem lengthy, but if you make it a couple times, I'm seriously telling you, you're gonna be making this all the time. It's one of those really light coffee, delicious, and you have this with like, I usually like to have it with black coffee. Oh, it tastes so good. You just want to fold this where it is nice one mixture. Now, my daughter-in-law makes this too, but hers is a different version. And so hers also tastes really, really good. I can't remember exactly how she does it, but there's a lot of versions out there. This one I had made, I would say 4 or 5 years ago, and I usually do a lot of my research before I post my recipes. So I made it kid-friendly. Tried to make it kid-friendly by cooking the eggs, having the cooked eggs in there and not using the egg whites.
Many people are learning a lot right now.
Thank you so much.
I think a lot of people are having fun with the emojis too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The more you give love to this dessert by taking your time and doing it the right way, you're going to see that the taste is going to blow you away. And then even if you do go to a restaurant and you order this dessert, you're going to be like, this doesn't taste right. Like I remember going to P.F. Chang's and ordering theirs, and I was like, no way, no way. So do you see how this mixture is? It's not super thick. This is why I'm saying that when you are setting this dessert, you're gonna need to have this rest in the fridge for at least 6 to 8 hours. I know. Beat your temptation and wait and let it settle. Although I think Sumaya is not gonna let me. She's gonna break into this right at iftar time.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got our coffee here.
Can we use another substance instead of coffee? I'm just not into coffee.
Yes, definitely. Again, like I said, this is tiramisu. Tiramisu is made with coffee. But you could, like I said, use passion fruit juice, orange juice, pineapple juice, and then you can like layer crushed pineapple in it. Or if you are doing passion fruit, then add a little bit of the passion fruit pulp, and be very, very creative with this dessert.
We have a couple of comments and a couple questions.
Yes.
The true test of sabr is to make this. In the restaurant, it always has some kind of liquor that stops me getting it.
Yes, that's true.
And Kalajan is worried about the Kuku Paka because of the charcoal, just leaving it there.
No, I wouldn't be worried because it really depends on how much flavor you want to give it. My daughter-in-law, Mariam, loves the flavor of the smoke in there. So this is why I left it in there. And mine, because we're on live today, it wasn't fully burnt. So I am okay with that just hanging out right now.
And it won't overspill or anything
Nope,
like
it's
that?
on complete low, so it should be completely fine. So tip for when you soak these biscuits into the coffee is do not leave them in there for a long time. Some of the recipes say that leave them in so it soaks up the coffee. I have tried this. When I make my videos and I post them, I make them at least 3-4 times, at least 4 times, 3 times, so that I can give you the best result. And when I did my test recipe, by letting it soak in there, it becomes extremely soggy. The dessert becomes soggy. And that's why I don't recommend having the coffee soak in there, or having the cookies soak in there for like even soaking in there for like 30 seconds. Just dip them in, take it out. Dip it in, take it out.
You would think this isn't a good recipe for someone that doesn't like a mushy consistency, but it's so like flavorful that I think that overpowers the.
I honestly do think so, because when my daughter, who doesn't like a cake, soft cake mixtures and custard and stuff, she just doesn't like the consistency. But for this dessert, she definitely loves the tiramisu. Again, also because we're not like super soaking this to the point where it's going to be soggy. So do you see how I'm just playing with this? I'm just cutting them so that they fit my container here.
Kalajan said that she made falafel dough today, and goodness, this is my next project.
Oh wow, how did the falafel turn out? Oh, it was probably setting, right? And whenever you make anything from Raihana's Cuisines, just ask, have a request to just say a prayer for my family and myself. Just keep us healthy so that we can bring you more recipes. All right, so I got one on the bottom like that.
She said it was setting with her fingers crossed.
All right. So now we got the first layer. Now we're gonna put the custard on. You just want to add enough where it's gonna cover, okay? And the nice thing about this recipe is that it does make a good amount of on the Parex dish, like this one. So if you don't have too very big of a family, you're gonna have enough for the next day, hopefully. Okay. At this time, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dust it with a little bit of cocoa powder.
Would powdered sugar work?
Nope. Has to be cocoa powder. Powdered sugar is going to make it too soft. It's also going to melt a little bit when you put it in the refrigerator. The powdered sugar. So you just don't want to do powdered sugar.
For the cookies, do you know if they came gluten-free?
No, they don't come gluten-free. But I know I've been thinking about also doing it for my daughter, and I've been looking for something that's gluten-free. So if I find something, I'll try and put it up on Instagram or something. But I haven't found really anything gluten-free yet.
But the dairy-free falafel dough is a good.
Yes, I did make dairy-free falafel, and that's gonna go up next week as well. I don't know if I'm gonna post both recipes tomorrow. We'll see. But my daughter really enjoyed it with the cashew milk. It was really, really good. All right. Again, I'm gonna try and move fast now. Okay. And then this is the way I'm setting them. You want to go in one direction because when you cut it, you want to see those cookies. And if you see the picture that Mazarba had put up, you will see that you can see the cookies. And that's what I like to see in my dessert. And you're gonna need about 40 of these cookies. So if you're planning to do this recipe, just make sure that you have that much.
I think this is something that will be devoured by tomorrow morning.
I think so too. Because Sumaya is fasting and I can see that she's kind of dying.
You're making one of my favorite desserts every day.
Might need to make a little bit more. I'm just going to dilute it because we don't have time right now to make another coffee.
You can smell the Kuku Paka, the charcoal, really giving the...
Yeah, you can smell it,
Yeah.
Sumaya?
Would brewed coffee work as well as instant?
Yes, yes. You could also pick some up from your favorite coffee shop. I'm not naming any, but yep, you can. In fact, I think they also do espresso. Espressos. They serve espresso coffee. Somebody is laughing, but yeah, you can. They do espressos, and you can pick that up as well if you really, really like that coffee.
It's espresso, right?
Espresso. And if you have more of the mixture left over, put it in the fridge, make some more. Right. Now we're just going to be finishing this up really quickly.
How long does it set in the fridge?
I would give it a good 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours. So the best thing is to make it in Ramadan, so people like Sumaya can't get to it.
Don't worry, I'll break my fast with it.
And when I've made this before, also, I know that there isn't much cream left over, so we should be okay. I just remember because I remember making just one or two of those cups on the side, but not. I didn't have very much left over. Okay, so this is good to go. I'm gonna add just a little bit more over here.
I think many people are agreeing with me.
And that is,
Once you start having the dessert, you just can't stop.
you can. I'm serious. It is, and the thing is that it's so light that you don't realize how much you're having. Okay, guys, just bear with me for just a second. I'm just gonna clear off this station real quick.
Kala, this is honey. It looks very yummy.
Honey, thank you for joining me, Mama. Now have Mom make this for you. Okay, so now, again, we're gonna take some cocoa powder. And I like a good amount on there. Okay, you wanna do the same thing with this one. And this is, like I said, this is where kids come in. And you also want to get a good cocoa powder. I honestly don't recommend using the regular Hershey's one for this because it is a very delicate dessert. You want a good cocoa powder for this.
You can really tell the difference just by the cocoa powder.
Yes. It also smells amazing. All right. So I got that and I made a mess here, but this is what it is. Okay, now we are going to garnish this with my favorite, chocolate covered espresso beans. Now, like I said, if you were using, let's say you were doing this with pineapple juice, or you were doing this with passion fruit juice, which I think would be wonderful, then you can always top it off with the pulp of the passion fruit or the pineapple slices.
Now,
So,
do you use cocoa, or I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's spelled COCOA and CACAO powder. Cocoa or
okay, I'll show you which one I use, okay? I'll show you the package so that you guys have an idea. But I honestly really do also tell you that garnish your food really, really well. You eat with your eyes, and it's just amazing to see when you take a look at it. It's just, that's your first impression. So that's my garnish for that. I'm going to be sticking, I'm not going to garnish this with. Now, if you were making a big one, once it comes out of the fridge and you slice it, before you serve it is when the chocolate espresso beans goes on there. You could also do chocolate curls. You could do chocolate crispies. You could do so many things. Let me go grab my cocoa powder. Then we'll head over to the Kuku. So this is the one that I use. This is the best one that I've found. It's organic. It's available at Costco and also at Amazon. So if you want to order it, not endorsing this at all, but just something that I use and I really like this product. So this is why I am showing you this product. Okay, so it's the Navita's Organics cocoa powder. Let me clean up this area.
yeah.
All right, let's head over to our Kuku Paka and finish that off because we are ready.
You answered your question.
Which is?
The cocoa powder?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I want you to take a look at this. I'm going to open it. I want you to see. We have no mess. Do you see how the foil here does not have all that coconut mixture in it? It's because we kept it on super low, so it wasn't bubbling over. Now I'm just going to pick this up and I'm going to put it in my sink. Do not throw this in the garbage because it's so hot. It's still hot. You want to completely get it cooled down before you throw that in the garbage. At this time, you want to do that taste test. Okay, take a look at this. Okay.
Also, Aladdin loves these too.
Yes, I don't know what it is with those tiramisu cookies. He will tear into the whole bag to have them. So I don't know what's up with those.
To hide it overnight.
Yeah, we had to hide it overnight because I was prepping yesterday and I was putting stuff on the table that I was going to need for today. And he actually started getting into it and we had to take it away and put it away in the pantry and close the pantry because I don't know what it is about that. Okay, guys, I do also want to thank you for your patience today in hanging out with me. Seriously, I really appreciate it. I'm gonna wipe the whole counter down. Now, this can be served with rice. You can make coconut rice. You can also make naan. I have a recipe of my naan on YouTube. I told you I made them yesterday. I'll take some out and show you. Super simple, easy recipe. And we're gonna head over there. I am going to be sprinkling this with a little bit more of my fresh cilantro, right? And I'll show you if you want to serve this with, these I made yesterday, and look at how soft they are. They're still very, very soft. So it's how you want to serve it. It's all up to you. Right? So we are all done. Appreciate your patience today. Make this for your family. Remember my family and me in your prayers. We have last show for next week, so make sure that you tune in. Thank you so much, Nasiba Muhammad Ali. Oh my God, Nasiba, assalamu alaikum. Haven't seen you for such a long time. Nasiba was Minnesota. She was in Minnesota, got married, is in Toronto now. So I haven't seen her for so long. So it's great to have you watch my show. But yes, so next week, inshallah, is going to be our last show with HIC. So make sure you tune in. Thank you so much for your patience and not making me rushed today. I couldn't rush the dishes that we had. We have two very rich dishes today. To make these, do not forget to hashtag Raihana's Cuisines. I'll see you here next week with another surprise mithai recipe so you can get you started for Eid plates. So same time, same place next week, inshallah. Until then, bye.